Yo guys, I'm gonna promote on good old Face BZ real quick. Let everyone know we're back. Might not be a heavy stream, but we're gonna make it happen. Drop a couple scheduled posts. As confusing as possible, obviously. Alright. Got the Long War letting people know too. And I should bang out one quick tweet. And then I'll start this bitch. Copy that shit. Running an empire from a phone. Tweet. We're coming a lot of clear. Testing 1, 2, 3. How you guys feeling? Yorkie Kusudan. First time here. Didn't think I would be on time. It was me who was not on time, brother. Tom Warner. I'm gonna bust him up. Dirty Sheets with Skeets checking in. I might have you call them for me, Dirty Sheets. I feel like you know how to handle some Tom Warner people. Tom Warner was trying Ty winning. They were trying to hold me back. Call them up. They're like, hey, your area is experiencing technical difficulties and it's all shut the fuck down. So our technicians are working on it. Is this a technician related question? Because we've already answered it. I'm like, I feel like I want to talk to a real person. But like, yeah, your area is messed up. It's like, you do realize, like, that's like saying 1 million people don't have internet right now. What do you mean? Well, like, I live in Hollywood. There's like 4 million people within 3 seconds of my house. So, like, how do you operate a business as a monopoly, a legalized, you know, utility monopoly where weekly millions of people are experiencing utility loss? I feel like you need to step the fuck up. Still one more name checking in. Beast. Beast. Yo, dog, can't stop The Shining. To quote one of the greatest rappers of all time. We're back. Oh. What is that? Is that a Magna Dragon looking all beast? Using some sick ancient Chinese techniques? Is that what that is? Yo, these guys are not easy to paint. And I use a lot of techniques on them. It's mainly technique, you know, like if I had to come back and like, you know, paint every scale, hit it with every, I mean, like it would take me 50 hours to paint this guy. You know, so we leaned heavy on some airbrush techniques, some wash techniques, some glazes, some gloss, you know, some hyper highlighting techniques, you know, just a real solid use of all the tools we have. If you wanted to crack out on this model and come in hot with a paintbrush, you could, but be prepared for the 5 hard days of work. I'll show them off here in a second. Now that the stream is on. Roll call. Dirty Sheets. McSkeets, you gotta work? You don't work. Your name is Dirty Sheets McSkeets. Like, who hired you? Bad Monkey, Yo Dog, back from the quick errand, and he's up. The Dwagon, is looking badass. Yeah, Dirty Sheets McSkeets, you're off your game today. All right, so let me show this pimp juice off. Let me pull this little wizard off. Oh, what? Where'd he go? How's that even a thing? Zoom out a little bit so we can get the most crystal clear picture possible. Get that zoom right. All right, I feel like we're focused good. Okay. So you guys remember last week where I kind of went over the cheater primer scheme to this guy, then I showed you some quick back shades with the airbrush to get him kind of to the pre-wash stage. Since that day, and unfortunately there will not be a studio tutorial on this guy, we are in a mad dash of putting 75 hours of painting last week. So we're in a mad dash to get the Age of Sigmar out the door by the 1st so I can go to Colorado for the 4th of July week celebrations with my lady and her family and their family from Scotland, this whole thing. And I'm not gonna be in town, obviously, so I'm not gonna be streaming next week. I'm not gonna be throwing out tutorials, nothing. So, you know, it's been a mad dash. So I already got my tutorials done. This guy didn't get one, but we do have plans to do 2 more dragons. So there will be some studio tutorial. The way we did this was after you saw all those fresh fades last week, we came in, glossed the shit out of them with the old Vallejo gloss varnish, like nice solid, like just hard shell of gloss, and we hit them with the flesh shade gloss coat wash, like just hit all the little crevices, kept most of the colors intact. After we gave them a nice solid gloss, a gloss wash, we matted them back down, and then we just started subtly reestablishing these airbrush effects. And you can see it does wash out some of what the wash does, but the wash for the most part still gives us the illusion of detail inside of all these cracks, you know. So that's why you come in super soft with it, and you can still maintain some of those details. It's a technique for maintaining details when you're coming in hot with the airbrush, trying to create an exciting effect with the airbrush, but you're not trying to paint every individual scale on the guy. Now, we did focus on his face a lot, and we gave him a lot of, like, you know, kind of like magma lava highlighting on his face. Kind of highlighted those peaks, gave him that, like, just wow, we're burning. And you see we brought the red all the way up to the black on his spikes, that illusion of fire, and we came back in on his feet, pre-shaded it all with whites, then we blended all the super bright moon yellows back in eventually to a pure white. Now I do want to show you guys a tutorial on that eventually, because it is a back and forth process. It's not as simple as let's just fade it down to white. No, if you want it to pop like that, it's like white, then bring your yellows in, then fade it back into your yellowy white, then your white, and then like bring some of the golden yellows back in. It's a back and forth process to get it to have that effect to where it looks like he is super hot, like his feet are just hot as shit, you know, like he's just filled with magma from the inside. You know, he's not glowing, he's just like hot as shit, you know. And we came back in there and cut back in the details on his feet. Came back in there and painted all these little spikes, gave him that black effect like they were just chunks of armor. You know, we painted his tongue with some dark purples, and his teeth some black, some blue highlights like his claws. He's glowing on his chest. He's glowing in the under the tail, like even the runes in his spine up here. We gave him some fun little glow effects. And now I'll talk about, and also like on his base, this is an epic pain in the balls. To get him to stand on this amazing scenic base, this is all just crushed cork. Cork all up in here, like just to get him, he's pinned in, and then he had to be corked, brought back up level, so it would work out. Currently, his tongue and his teeth are gloss coated, and even these little ribs he has, these little slats, that's all glossy. So, I mean, came out fresh, super happy with him, and I'll talk about what I did here on the dais. So, we chose to use the dais on this guy. And the dais is, they give you 2 ways to make this dragon. One of them is Deus with Wizard, and it's a, see, and I painted it to be like stone, like it's a chunk of like a ruin strapped to his back, and I embedded a magnet in here, and then I green stuffed it, roughed it up with the sandpaper, used some liquid green stuff to kind of create it like it's a stone floor still, embedded a thick magnet in there, drilled some magnets in the bottom of these guys so he can just chill. Ooh, knackers.
And his name is John C. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now.
Knackers, you did it. You triggered a new John Cena remix. Thank you, brother. Appreciate the donations. Of course, these donations are going toward my new graphics card, so we can start streaming and recording at the same time and showing you everything, and then I can cut these into more usable tutorials for the patrons. So, Wizard chills on Deus. That's the intent of the Deus. There's a saddle too, and that's for like the warrior, the guy with the big ass axe. But what we wanted to do though, my client and I, good old Optimus Stein, he's like, well, I want to be able to run them both. I don't want to like have any. I don't want to pay this much money for a model that has to be pigeonholed to this one thing. So I was like, where does this magnetize them? So we drove it, and they'll just both be on the Deus instead of like saddle, because he also had a secondary idea. He wanted to be able to run these guys on bases too, anytime he wasn't running them on the dragon. So what I've got here is, I'll work on these today, is these are the bases with a magnet dropped in them, and this guy can chill on a base. So he can play on a base when the dragon's not being used, and the warrior can go up here. And you saw me paint these a couple weeks ago. Warrior's just chilling. He's on there. He's getting ready to slash down on fools. Beat someone down with his pimp cane. Zeb, check out that helmet. You got it in the 4th grade. And when we're not using the warrior, I think this is the right one. Right here. Warrior's pimp chilling on his base with his little magnet. So that's definitely the love we were trying to show on this dragon, and I think we accomplished that task. Very simple techniques, very minimized, super hardcore detail paintbrushing. We used a lot of airbrush and a lot of technique, and that's what we always talk about here, Next Level Painting. Quantity is its own quality. We marry the two, and the skill is the knowledge and the technique. Like, I can teach anyone how to paint like this. You don't have to be born an artist. I didn't paint like this when I started, like, and I was born an artist. Like, I sucked bad. So I'll let you guys look at that dragon. Let's jump into Q&A. Let's engage. Killing Tom Payton. Thunderwolf Cavalry finally came through. Oh, Tom Warner Cable. God, I can't believe Tom Warner Cable is the same baller acronym as Thunderwolf Cavalry. Yes, they did come through. Cat a couples game, and you like that reference? Quick shout out. Nakas came in hot with the Magna Dragon hype with a donation triggering one of our John Cena gifts. I have 2 new John Cena gifts in there. I've cut out all the practically all the non-John Cena related gifts. We're not going to see the Chuck Norris one anymore. We're not going to see the Batman ones anymore. We are almost exclusively John Cena gifts. So I know that's what people wanted. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's make it happen. All right, guys. So I'm gonna pull the beautiful Magna Dragon out of frame. He's gonna chill back here as safe as possible. And I work on these bases here for you guys real quick. Show you some quick technique on these guys. Quick technique. And then after that, I'm gonna pull out the old airbrush, and I'm gonna start laying down some flesh tones. These guys are all the Hearthguard flamethrower guys. I have 10 more dudes to do, and the commission's done. So I've got 10 more dudes to do. Phrasing. So these guys have taken their gloss coat over their lightly airbrushed bodies, and they're ready for a quick highlight over the gloss. And I got to paint these 5 flamethrower guys, and then I got to paint these 5 double axe guys, and we're done. So that's 2 more ball buster days, 2 12-hour days, get it all done, put it in a box, take some pictures, send it to Optimus Stein, go to Colorado. I'll do these. I'll show you the dry brush technique on these bases. Anyone who hasn't seen the studio battle report on these base technique, I'm gonna show you right now how easy this is. And the reason I do them like this so that I can match any quark to them too. Okay, framed up. Alfarius checking in. What up? Beep _ beep 1. Do you feel like the new gloss washers are full replacement for the map? Practically, beep beep. They're practically a full replacement. They're super close. There's going to be definitely some situations where they're not necessary. Like I don't think that they're necessary on like on faces all the time. Like on a full body wash, like we're doing here.
And his name is John C.
We will all bow down to the excellence that is John Cena Gifts. Yori Kusandan, Kasudan says, thank you for everything you've done for the community. Thank you for the support, my man. So, what I mean by almost a full replacement is, so sometimes you have just the skin, like of the face showing. Like a lot of Space Marines have all this armor and just a face. Well, I would still use some of the non-gloss washes to, you know, paint the face flesh, drop the non-gloss wash in there, and then highlight like the brow and the nose and the cheekbones up. You're still going to get a great effect there, and you're not going to have to like mat it back down over and over again to get it to bring. Only downside of the gloss wash, I'm going through more matte varnish than I typically would. And this, you know, Tester's dull coat that we use is not cheap, and so I'm using a lot more. But we got a huge one.
Seconds in, hit him with an F5. Hit it back so hard he feel it in the next life. Pull him over that shoulder just like a knapsack.
Orcus Mike. Orcus Mick or Orcus Mike? Please tell me what. Donated, one of the possibly the largest donation to date, saying, yo KB, I assume that means Kenny Boucher. He says, yo, thank you for all your fans over on Twitch, YouTube, and wherever who don't have $5 or $10 to spare. Thanks for the sick videos, mate, and hopefully we can keep them rolling. That really is touching, and I appreciate that, my man. So as I was saying about the matte varnish, though, I'm using more matte varnish, but I'm using less gloss varnish. You know, so in the end, it's not equal because this gloss varnish right here, pennies compared to the Tester. So let that weigh into the equation. You know what I'm saying? It's the only matte varnish I trust on my models is the Testers, Model Masters, Lusterless. So don't play games. Cosmic Cubicle, thanks for the host, my man. Okay, so let's show you these bases, guys. So don't worry, I will airbrush on the stream too. These bases are just right for the picking. So I'm gonna pull out a big old brush. I got some rando cheap big brushes. I'm looking for the right one. You guys ever... There we go. This one is probably going to work. So we got a quick little... You guys have probably seen these paintbrushes in these big sets, these big cylinders that like Hobby Lobby for super cheap. They're really good, man. Like I don't... You know... they're super good just to have them in a stack over here for rando dry brushing, you know? And for the most part, I don't overthink my dry brush. You know, it's just... Any brush will do practically. That's big enough. So... This is how we create that rock effect that we've been doing on all the dwarf bases to get them like this. These are the bases. These bases are done. They're going to be done exactly the same way, minus one key element. I had airbrushed white back in these before I washed them in the original video. I'm about to test to see if I don't need to do that right here on these two magnetized bases. So I'm gonna get some, and here's the trick. Men off white base. Let's see, where's the focus? Do we got our focus right? Yeah, we're good. So men off white base, P3. This is one of the tricks right here to getting your rocks looking really like rocks. Because a lot of people, they just lean on white and grays. That's fun for like the grimdark ruins and everything. Trying to get a runic mountain rock to look fresh though, you know, you don't necessarily want to do that. And we're using, of course, our cheater primers from Army Painter. This is their shadow gray line. They're hit shadow gray. They're washed black. Commissar Craig.
And his name is John C. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now.
Commissar Craig, simply put, exclamation point. And just popping off John Cena, new remixes left and right. And of course, my favorite one, Link getting pwned by Zangief. So we're going to dry brush this now. And thank you, Commissar Craig. And this is a simple process of getting that paint loaded up on your brush and just going crazy. And right here, what I'm doing is heavy pressure, fast speed, and very little paint on the brush. And of course, if you're really new and you don't know what dry brushing does, what it's doing is it's catching all the raised ridges and leaving its pigment behind with no liquid, with no medium. And it's going to leave that highlight on there. And this is being comboed with the fact that we had a darker color and a really heavy wash. So the wash does the exact opposite. The wash finds the recesses. It settles into the cracks. That's how you get those runes to still be pronounced. The deepest parts of the rock. So you're getting a really dark blue, black, to a shadowy gray blue, to this bone color that looks a lot like rock when you start dry brushing it. And it's that simple. That's already more than most people do. They usually just use white and gray, and rocks don't look like that, my man. And same deal. Let's knock this one out. And I did choose the most rocky of the bases for these two HQs for their magnets because I needed the most level surface. And also it'd show off the dry brush rock technique very well, like way better than gravel. And there is a little patch of gravel on here. I'll paint that back with the airbrush here in a minute when we turn the compressor on. Same deal. Getting a nice effect. I'm going to pull a little bit more out. And then we're going to do one more pass. We're going to highlight these. And I'll show you something real cool about Privateer Press that I love. Alright. So we got a nice rock base. And here is the Privateer Press love. Men off white, highlight now. We're going to pull this out, and we're going to highlight that men off white base. Real simple. And this is going to give you, and don't go nearly as crazy on this highlight. Try to control it and focus where you want it. Like I'm going to put it on the rims, on the highest peaks right here of the rock. And I'm using much lighter pressure, and I'm dragging it back and forth in one direction at a time, letting it just catch those ridges. Boom. Same deal. And what I'm doing on this one right here is not nearly as much of the medium has been removed. It's a little bit wetter of a dry brush, so I can leave some more of that white behind for those hard edges. So like I said, got a full studio tutorial on how to do all these bases and how to base all your models, like get all the bases done in one fell swoop in about an afternoon. This is definitely like part of the next level process. We don't glue our models onto our sick resin bases because you can't get these effects if the model's in the way. So we got those two done for now. I'm going to set those aside. And we are going to start airbrushing here in 1 minute. But before we do that, I'm going to turn the compressor on. Gonna put the Magna Dragon back on display in case Commissar Craig and anybody else who jumped in the stream didn't see it. This, you obviously saw us painting this last week, and this is where we're at. This is what it ended up. Nice little tongues, magnetized wizards and warriors, looking like a beast. And of course, I will have some studio tutorials eventually on these, just not right now. We have plans to do two more dragons. Oh, let me just leave them right here for you. And I'm going to do a quick roll call. Want to shout out Commissar Craig again. Want to say, Orcus Mike, you probably already answered my question. Yori, Kasudan, and Nakas. Thanks, guys. You guys are coming through, making this a reality for me. Q&A time. Okay. Well, a lot has happened. Where we at? Alright, here we go. Cosmic Cubicle, yo dog, thought I missed it. You almost did. Time Warner almost got a beat down. They almost had to throw him a beat down. Iron-Headed is back. Gazgul 1337.
Name is John C.
Alfieri is catching the original Skrillex remix of the John Cena anthem. Yo, that is so fresh, my man. Thank you for the support. The love is here tonight. Let me go into the donations tab, make sure I turn down some of the frequencies of some of these, so that way we can get some of the newer ones to pop. Just real quick, I want to make sure that we can have all the Cenas tonight. Okay, so hopefully if anyone else chooses to donate to the kindness of the heart, we'll get some more love. Okay. Where we at? Orcus Mike, you from Australia? Damn, you Australians are so badass. It's Orgasmic Orcs. Orgasmic. Oh my god. I love it. Yori Kasudan, you have to head out soon, man. Hopefully you can make the next one, my man. Cosmic Cubicle. I think not enough people look at actual rocks before they base something. For years I didn't either, my man. I was just like black and white and gray. And then like I looked outside one time when I was in Colorado. I was like, there's no such thing as a fucking black and white and gray rock. Like, Iron-Headed says, I like P3 Cyrax Grays. I do like those too. Iron-Headed. Oh, I like the extra whiteness on the paws and the claws. Yeah, man, thanks. That's, give it that superheated look, man. Lorak says, yo, Kenny, sent you a message on YouTube. This is Jesse from Lizard's Alternate Dimension. What? Lizard's Alternate Dimensions. Lizards on Ice and Alternate Dimensions in Miami. Jesse. Oh my god, dude. It's literally been so many years. You're going to need to give me another clue to put a face to the name Jesse. That's like over a decade and a half ago, my man. That's possibly 16 years ago. Give me a shout out. Give me something that happened between us so I don't forget. Commander Kino in the house. Yo, dog, checking in. And I'm at work like a boss just left for a minute. Hope the stream is flowing. Yeah. Lorak, Dillweed, you need to give me more. Like I said, that's somewhat familiar, but like, dog, I can't remember shit that happened a week ago, man. Face, did we work together? What armies did you play? Did you play, you know, something? Did we go to a party one time? Give me something. Give me something that I can remember. Back in the old Miami days, that was my old stomping grounds from when I came up. Blue Eldar. I can never forget Blue Eldar, my man. That is awesome. Hit me up on Facebook so we can become friends. And that invitation extends to everybody. Okay. Airbrush time. Okay, let me move this Magna Dragon out of the way. And let's start off on these flame pike guys. Wow. This is where I want to be right here in my life. Okay. So, Barbarian Flesh, the Army Painter Cheater Primer was used on these guys. And no highlight and a wash. So I didn't highlight these guys either because I did want to see if I can eliminate that step with the gloss washes. And worst case scenario, they're going to be a little darker than the other guys, and that's fine. They're literally holding flamethrowers. I'm down with that, you know? Okay, so we're going to be using the old Sunny Skin Tone from Vallejo, right, Sean? Let's move these guys out of the way real quick so we can do the Gangster Gumbo for anybody who's new to the stream and doesn't know what the Gangster Gumbo is. And also, I did see somebody in there mention that KB obviously stands for Killer Bees. I'm embarrassed that I didn't think of that. Props to you, brother. Okay, Airbrush, step 1. And we are danger close on flow improver quantity. I need to find it. Where you at, flow improver? There you go. I usually buy the big one. They didn't have it in stock this time for my distributor, so down to almost none. I'm about to do a huge inventory reorder when I come back from Colorado, and I know what I'm spending today's donations on. Might have to wait on that graphics card for a little bit because I'm about to spend about $200 in supplies. We're getting low. Sunny Skin Tone. Just pour some right in the old pot, just a little bit, and now we're gonna pour a little water on top, thus creating the gumbo. We're gonna pull out a rando paintbrush that's clean, and we're gonna stir it up. Stir in the pot, and now the final technique to the Gangster Gumbo: cover the tip, let some air flow in, and then start depressing it and let it mix together. Let that flow improver and that water mix together, and just like that, we have an airbrush, a non-airbrush paint ready for our airbrush. I did just clean this airbrush, so hopefully it's not too shitty. I'm also out of airbrush cleaner, so I've been having to use a little bit of acetone, which I don't really like doing because it's just not as good for this. Okay, so what we're going to do here is a Zenthio highlight, which is top down for the non-airbrush scientists. Just a little bit on his shoulders, mainly the big top muscle groups right there. Keep it real light, real thin, real delicate. Let it creep down onto his chest muscles, on his pecs. Nice, right there. Let's hit his back. It's a little bit on top. We're not trying to undo all of our wash. We're just trying to add to the highlight. Let's hit the back of his heels real quick. Tops of his feet. And I'm going to sneak it in right here on his thigh. And there we go. Quick little highlight. Set his ass down. Let's keep it going. Mass produce. Hit that shoulder. Let me zoom in for you guys. Too far away. Top of the shoulder. Let's let it creep down to his stomach. Top of his hand. Feeling good about that. I'm going to do a little bit more, actually. There we go. That's how I want it. The airbrush is sticking just a little bit, so I'm going to back the needle out and just kind of like let some of it out. I said, it's just not as clean as it could be right now. Same deal. Let's get that thick ass neck and shoulder. Back of the heel. Let's get some of this forearm and bicep love right there. Sneak it into his thigh right here. Okay, we're good. Oh, let's get this outer thigh. These guys are a little fatter, a little chubbier than the berserkers, but they're still fucking swole. Sneak it in. Get that hand. Now, see, I missed some primer under here, and I washed it. I'm just going to kind of fill it out with a little bit of this sunny skin tone, and that's all you have to do. I'm actually going to just... Yeah, no, we're good. Let's get this last pike guy right here. Fire pikes or whatever they are. Same deal. Consistency. This is why you always want to do groups of them at the same time. That way you don't come back and all of a sudden they're different. And we'll come back in with a little gloss wash tech and we'll slice those muscles back in with a little bit more control. Okay, let's set these guys down. Let's move right on. Double axe guy. Now these guys are the ones who received a highlight previous to the wash. And I do already instantaneously like the effect a little bit more. I'm definitely digging it. It's pretty subtle, so it might not even matter to most people. When you feel like your airbrush is trying to clog on you, don't just try to force it through. Move it off. Blow it out right there. When you feel like it's working, I let a little air through before, like kind of right here around my finger. So I'm shooting right here. And I'm letting it come out there first, then kind of transferring it to where I want, so it doesn't just splatter on the model. That's one of my ancient Chinese techniques. Okay. That's why you always see me kind of clearing it off to the side. Same deal. Feeling good about this guy. What a beast. These little garden gnomes are swole. Do you even lift, bro? I know who does. Looking good. Nice subtle Zenthiels. And here's the last one for this stage. Yeah, so these guys look like they have some more power runes on their legs than the berserkers did, but they also have armor, some shin guards, some greaves. Okay, so all 10 of our guys have a little bit of a subtle Zenthiel highlight on them. We're going to pour the rest of this shit right back in here. Save that for later. As usual, I do have a little makeshift sink at my feet. Going to use my water right here. We're going to clean it out real quick. Run it through, a little backflow technique. Gonna use my trusty toothbrush right here. God, look how gross that toothbrush is. Been using it as a comb too. And I'm just gonna clean out the pot. Gonna keep the tip clean, as everyone knows. Always keep the tip clean. Feeling good about that. And what I'm gonna do, actually, hold on. I'm gonna throw that brown down on the base. I'm gonna grab some Cavalry brown right here. I'm not even gonna make the gumbo. I'm just gonna pour some in, just a couple drops, because I don't need much. I don't want to waste time building a gumbo when I feel like I could probably get it just enough to work. So right here on those rocks. Okay. Okay, I was wrong. Needs more water. Backflow. Here we go. Just like that. Got brown rocks. We'll dry brush that later. Pour it back in. Clean it. Okay. Clean the pot out with your toothbrush. And now use ancient Chinese technique, shot glass with a little bit of solvent in it. Right here. Boom, just put it in there. It's dissolve. It's, you know, losing a little bit, because there's a lot of acetone in there, so it's just evaporating. It's mainly water now. Let that ride. Take the gloves off. I don't like the way they feel anymore. And what we are left with, let me zoom out and give you a clearer picture. Let's get that focus right. And we have a subtle little highlight to that skin. You can see the wash is still doing a lot of work, but we lost a little bit there in the shoulder. And we're going to come back in with control, reestablish that line, where the initial pass of the wash that we started with was very uncontrolled and just gangster mode. Okay. Let me check on you guys in the Q&A. Let's see what's going on, guys. Alright.
His name is John C.
My boy Vagrant Wolf, fellow streamer, check out his stream. He streams for kids. He Saudi, one of my favorite people of all time. I will keep the paint flowing, gangster mode. All right, let's see where I left you guys off. Killing time painting. The orky bits finally started showing up. Oh, I can't wait to see what you do for me, man. Iron-headed. Already talked about you. Lorak, I live in Hollywood, bro. Iron-headed says, yeah, my flow improver is low. Need to restock. Yo, you ain't lying. Neo Cypher. Sup, Kenny? Checking in. Glad to catch up on the stream. How far are you through this commission? I missed last week. We are these 10 dudes away. Like, once we finish these 10 guys, we're done. That is going to be 2 hard days. I'm going to spend tomorrow and the day after banging it out. Had a nightmare at the DMV last week. I don't know if you guys saw me. I think I quickly tweeted about it. But basically, DMVs are just such scams. Obviously, everybody knows California is the worst. Right when I moved in, I went out to the DMV to get my truck registered because I had a temporary tag on it, a travel tag. Go in, call them up, get an appointment. Like, yo, what do I need? They gave me a list of things I need. Go in. Within 5 seconds, they're like, you don't need any of that, but you need this. Of course, I don't have any of that, you know? Furious, right? So then later, months later, when I could find time, because obviously I'm working 70 hours a week, like this week, go in with the stuff they told me to bring, and they got this new thing now. They're like, oh, you know, we inspected your truck and everything. Oh, what's the weight of your truck? I was like, I'll look it up on Ford's website. I have a little Ranger. I don't know, 2,800 pounds? They're like, oh, it's classified as commercial. You have to get it weighed. It's like, Ford Rangers are not commercial vehicles. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, I mean, well, like, you can haul anything in it. I was like, huh. Well, I feel like this entire document where I keep putting my thumbprint in to verify who I am, and I have to sign every little piece of this document with, like, under penalty of federal perjury, I promise you these things. And one of them was I'm not using my vehicle in a commercial capacity. Like, how was that not good enough? Like, you made me swear under oath and even give you my thumbprint, but you still want me to go weigh my truck. Seems racist because we have a lot of immigrants in this state, and they're trying to make this, like, rule that applies to everybody to pretend they're not targeting one group of people. And I was like, you know, it was almost, and I couldn't register my vehicle. I had to go schedule a weigh-in, go do all, this is the 3rd trip. You're talking 3 4-hour trips to the DMV. Every time I go, that's 4 hours I don't get to be here working. And I'm like, so you made this almost impossible for me, a legal United States citizen. You realize you made this impossible for anybody who's potentially trying to become a legal citizen, right? Like, this is why we have all these uninsured drivers out here. Like, you made it impossible. Like, I was here for 4 hours, and then your only response to me was, didn't you read the website? And I was like, I did read the website. Like, being on websites is a part of my business. And this was so unclear that I, who am a professional online website individual, didn't understand it. Like, you guys are fucked up, you know? So, at that point, the summary of this story I'm giving you is way lower volume, way less, like, gesture-based. Like, I had a private security guard came over to me, told me to lower my voice and to stop gesturing, I'd have to ask him to leave. All this shit. I was so mad. My lady was there. She controlled the situation like she do. So, of course, before I drive 16 hours to Colorado, I got to go back into the DMV somehow while finishing this commission if I want to be legal to drive. Which I'm thinking about just not doing, you know? Sorry for that rant, guys. That's just what happened. That's the only thing that happened to me that was not painting related last week. Absinthe. What's up, sister? Getting low on supplies, too? Neo Cypher. What wash did you use on those dwarves? We're using the new GW Gloss Wash. The Flesh Shade. Definitely all my supplies are listed there in the commands. Uh-oh, Alfarius, you bent the tip this morning? Uh-oh. Don't ever bend the tip. Still one more name. Simple Green will work on the airbrush, for sure. Just not quite as good as airbrush cleaner will. Like, I like using... I've used it for years. It's just standard Vallejo airbrush cleaner. You can get a big bottle of this, pour some of this in your shot glass and some water, and this is way better. Sorry, Lorak, no longer in Florida. I haven't been there for years. I haven't been in Florida. I haven't lived in Florida for 13 years. I feel like my dog's about to go crazy. Benji, finally made it. Love the channel. Stream from another Australian. Benji, 2020. God, you Australians. Love you. Still one more name. All pickups are commercial in California. You can register them non-commercial, but you're screwed if you ever get caught hauling something that's not commercially registered. Really? Like, if they find me with anything in the back of my truck that's, like, not groceries, I'm in trouble? That's upsetting. Alright, guys. Excuse me. Alright. So, we're going to show you some control wash next. I think my lady just came home from all her meetings. I hear her out there being very sweet and being very quiet. Time Warner literally didn't turn back on until like 39 minutes ago. Oh, just so you guys know, that with that knowledge, Bonet will destroy Time Warner. Yeah, Ironheaded. Simple Green is good for a quick rinsing. Agreed. Okay. If you want. I'm going to ask my people, what do you guys think I should eat tonight? Pizza or something healthy? There, 15-second delay. We'll know soon. Oh, guys. I'm not going to be going to Bay Area Open anymore. It's just too inconvenient with the placement of all these commissions right now. I'm trying to make it down. They say pizza, always go with pizza. They said pizza, always pizza. Luckily, we got crispy crust. This is some of the best pizza I ever had. Word. Zeb says I should eat salad. Fine, I'll combine the two. There's I think it's called the Hammer of Wrath GT up here in Pasadena at Gamer Empire. It's in August. It's the only one I think I can make based on my schedule. I wanted to make BAO work. I just couldn't make it work. And in short, there's no way under the heavens that Nurgle is going to allow me to finish the orcs in time for either event. So we're probably going to be bringing some chaos. And I'll tell you, I'm excited about this chaos list because it's going to be an ITC format 5-round GT up here at Gamer Empire. And it's going to be ruthless. So, my Spawn-Tide Chaos has progressively been losing power with all the new formations and new psychic powers. It's a great list. I've won many tournaments with it. It's just a little underpowered now. And so I am going to try to run a silly Chaos Death Star army. Love you, baby. Where my Spawn-Tide that you guys see me play all the time, it's kind of like 2 mini cheap Death Stars. The problem is they don't have any teeth, though. Like, they can only kill certain things. They mainly just don't die and accomplish tasks. You need a little bit more than that, though, in this format. So, one of my favorite things about Khorne Demonkin is that their demons don't have instability, which means that independent characters can join them who are Battle Brothers. Where the Demon Codex, you can't because of instability. So I'm going to build a Death Star around a unit of Khorne Demons and a Demon Kid Fleshhounds and the Khorne Demon Kid Lord with the Eternal Warrior armor on a Juggernaut and the Psychic Cabal, the Cyclopean Cabal from the Black Legion supplement. I'm going to make my own Librarius Conclave with like 4 of those guys and they're on bikes. Just join to that unit. We're going to come across the table. We got Fate Weaver. We got Grimoire, True Names. Got a bunch of MSU Beasts, Beasts of Nurgle to take objectives. Some Nurglings. And the concept basically is to turn this Death Star into something that Space Marines are afraid of. That like all the Space Marine Death Stars that are invincible are going to be afraid of. And that's going to come in a really interesting way. Nobody ever thinks about this, but Chaos Space Marines are just like Space Marines in the fact that they can roll on Demonology, Sanctic, or Malefic. So we're going to be rolling on Sanctic. And we're going to be looking for Hammerhand, Sanctuary, and we're going to augment, we're going to use Sanctuary to combo off of Grimoire, get them down to 2 open vulnerables, using Fate Weaver for the reroll. We're going to get them with Hammerhand so they have +2 strength, the whole unit. Then we're going to roll on Biomancy until we have 4 up Funeral Pain and Eternal Warrior. And we're not going to do any invisibility, none of that. We're just going to come across the table, basically unkillable. Billions of Strength 7 force weapon attacks, Strength 10 attacks coming in from the Lord, and a whole squad of 15 Fleshhounds that are going to be Strength 7, Weapon Skill 5. Like Night Titans will get destroyed. So I'm bringing the Chaos Space Marine Death Star. Alright, enough about that. Let me show you how to control this wash now. We've got the Glosh wash right here, the Flesh Shade, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pick out the areas versus washing the whole surface. I'm just going to put it right where I want it. Just like that. Same thing up here on the shoulder. We're just going to create separation there from the traps. Come around to the tricep. Right under the deltoid and the tricep right there. Just controlling it. Just putting them in the spots that you want them to be. And just like that, basically, we undo the definition that was lost in our subtle airbrush highlight. Just like that. And you can see on the, let me show you this arm. You can see it's all washed out compared to this arm. And this is just one of the next level painting techniques right here. Right here. Alright, see that? Got that bicep looking strong. Come back around up to where the traps and the shoulder meet. And we're going to just try to draw a line along that seam. You want to create that shoulder definition. anywhere else you think you need it. Like all these runes, kind of around them a little bit. But don't worry about them too much because we're going to come back in there and paint those gold and give them another wash later. So basically, let me get it so it's not so blurry from being zoomed in so far. And so basically there you have it. You can see where we drew that wash in. And it looks it's a little extreme right now. That's because it's shiny. That's because it's super shiny. But I'm going to show you, like, I do a little bit more than this to finish the model out. And I'm going to show you exactly what that is. So I'm going to close this wash. And I'm going to show you, like, obviously you guys have seen some of these other dwarves. Let me grab one for you guys for placement. It's just a lot of new people on the stream today who haven't seen the project. Okay. So what we have right here is... make sure we don't unplug any cameras. Rolling over a cord of some type, of course. And we have a bunch of dwarves. And I'll show you... what's a good example? Give me one of these calls. There we go. No, this guy. There's a guy that I really... Here we go. And so this guy right here, you can see how much more subtle that wash ends up being in those muscles. And that's because I threw just a little bit of paintbrushing down on there to finalize it. So what we have in this box is 20 Volkite Berserkers. And I'll show you these while that wash dries. 20 Volkite Berserkers right here. And some HQs. So we got, obviously our gold axes. See, you can see there's just a little bit of paintbrush work in there that's present, just enough to not to be super annoying, but enough to really just convert on the effect. And obviously we got our 3 HQs. I'll show you these guys one by one. Anyone new to the stream, we have a tutorial on this guy. They're so simple, anyone could paint these. I mean, like, getting this level, mostly a technique. You can see just a little bit of paintbrush work on those muscles. So I'm going to show you that paintbrush work here right now. Let me put these berserkers down. They want to just hang out back here, they can. And let me grab the guy I was just working on right here. Let's get it focused in. I want to let that glaze totally dry though before I work on it. So I'll talk to you guys in the Q&A. I'll show you guys the Magna Dragon one last time in a minute. But right now, where are we at? Beggar Wolf, Beast Mode. Did you use those bases on your Space Wolves too? Maze Miniatures, finally able to catch a live stream. I enjoy watching the vids on YouTube, getting motivated to getting better with the hobby. Appreciate it, man. Still one more name, Salad. What the fuck? No, I was obviously lying about that. I've never had a salad in my life. Who and the Fisherman. Man, did not climb to the top of the food chain by eating salad. You are correct, sir. Gasgol, just want to see you beat up some West Coasters. I'm going to try. I'm going to have my first crack at Still One More Name, hopefully next month. That'll be the first beatdown of a West Coaster. There is a caveat, though, to that match. We're playing only armies he owns versus each other. So he might beat me down. Lorak. The guy's right foot looks like it has a wash pull on it. Yeah, I'll fix it later. Like, I've shown people how to fix those in the last couple streams. Sometimes it drains down on top of the foot. And if it's actually all up on the foot, like I'll come back in and detail it with the paintbrush. Like if it pulls up, it's not as bad as you think right now. It's just really shiny. But I'll cut in a couple of little details on those toes to fix it up. I still do a little bit of paintbrushing. Captain Atwood, is there a list of commands you can use to get info? Yep, there certainly is. Just scroll down to the panels. Lock Infinity, Kenny, you ever think about running 4X Heralds of Slanesh on Steed with Locust that lets you choose the challenges? Basically, it's not about enemy characters. Yeah, it's great, except it doesn't kill any, like, baller Space Marine characters. Like, 6 Strength 3 Rending attacks that go first usually won't kill a guy who has 3+ invulnerable, you know? What I have run in playtest before was 4 Heralds on Steeds with Beguilement to always reroll miss hits and attach the 3 max units of Slanesh Furies. Super cheap squad. You're talking about 20 Furies that are Mark of Slanesh for 160 points, all strength 4 rending. Reroll all miss hits, moving 12 inches, running with a reroll, adding 3 inches. That's a fun army. Especially if you put you max out Psychic Disciplines and just roll until you get like a shroud or a shroud for the whole for the whole army to share, so they all can have like 3 up and 2 up cover. Alfurious, how would I get into contact with you to do some commission work? Facebook, Long War. Facebook, I have an email. It's on my website. Check out nextlevelpainting.net. Got all the info there. Straight up, got about a year wait right now. No lie. Ironheaded, did your client send you the dwarf character from Silver Tower box? I don't know. Maybe. I didn't see that though. Still one more name. Not in West Hollywood though. I mean, West Coast, dog. Still West Coast. Vagrant Wolf said he used those Mountain Runes base on his Wolfen. Sick. Shalinor says, I just cracked open the Cyrex battle box. I've been chain watching your vids while trying to put some ancient Chinese secrets on them. Hell yeah. Vagrant Wolf, you pulled 4th at Manbeard Paintings tournament. That is baller. The Wolf and Murder Pack and 2 Weirdsome Brotherhoods. That is such a ridiculous 1,000 point army. I love it. Alright guys, so here's the trick. We got Barbarian Flesh. This is the Color Match Color Series 2 Army Painters Primers. It's 100% matched to the Barbarian Flesh that we laid down. And I'm going to use this and Sunny Skin Tone to kind of just blend in. I wonder if I can get this situated so you can watch my detail work a little bit easier. Because I have a different posture for detail in models. It involves sitting kind of weird and cross-legged. I think I can do it right here. It's just not going to be as sharp of an image as I want. It's the best I can do, guys. Sorry. Alright. Barbarian Flesh. Just pull out Ancient Chinese Technique water bottle lid. A little bit of Barbarian Flesh up in there. Pour a little water in the outer ring of the lid. I'm gonna get a little bit of Sunny Skin Tone prepped. I'm just gonna put it right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come in with this Barbarian Flesh kind of thin with this water. And I'm just gonna kind of draw a thin line with it against that bicep or against that deltoid, kind of encroaching on the wash that we laid in there. Just like that. And what it did was it made that wash a little bit skinnier and also created a highlight. Same thing on the inner bicep, same thing right here. And I'm also going to drop it across the top of this connection where his oversized traps meet his deltoid. Let me see if I turn that light down. Maybe that'll help. Just a little bit right here. And this is Barbarian Flesh, which is really close to what the color of the model already is. Throw a little bit on top. And now we're going to sneak out and grab some of this sunny skin tone. And I like using my gloves as a wet palette. Grab a little bit of sunny skin tone and draw a tiny highlight. Right there. Right there. Inner bicep. Just like that. Okay, now it might be a little grainy for you guys, so I'm going to show you guys. Okay. So you can see right here, there's our little highlight. Our little highlight on the bicep and the pec. And that's it, like an explanation points on the model. That's, 99% wash and gloss airbrush. 1% quick little highlights. And same thing, you can kind of drop one right here on the forearm. Just make up like a muscle group, basically. Right there. Just kind of draw a couple of phantom lines into the forearm. Oh, I can see it's hard for you guys to see. And turn that light down. You see those highlights popping through. And the wash is just so intense still because remember, it's glossy. You just have to have a little vision. It's not going to look that way once I throw a matte coat over it. It's going to be matted down and you're not even going to see it like that. I'm going to grab some barbarian flesh around the back of the arm right here. Cut it into that wash. Just kind of cut it in toward the top. Grab some sunny skin tone. Draw a little highlight. Right there. Right there. Right there. It's coming in real subtle on camera. It's a little bit more intense in real life. I'm going to drop one right here where his pec is. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, so hopefully you can see what I've done here. All right, so you can see cut in with some barbarian flesh, some sunny skin tone, drop a little bit of highlight there, right here and right here. Right here on the inner pec right here, drop some in right here, and then we just drew a couple of phantom lines on his forearm. And when we throw some matte varnish on that, all that silly gloss that's just so intense looking is going to be matted down, and you're going to be left with something that looks a lot more like this. Once that gloss gets matted down, it's going to be looking like that. That's simple. Easy. That's an easy technique, like barely any detail paintbrushing at all. Ugh. Lick the tip of my paintbrush, acetone, of course. No water, of course. Spit in my little sink at the base of my operation. That was disgusting. All right. So that's kind of the ancient Chinese trick to doing all these dwarf skin tones without breaking your back, without sitting there like, oh, I'm going to blend all this bullshit. Nah, man. We're only dropping the subtlest, tiniest little highlights in just here, and here. That's simple, let me show you guys the Magna Dragon again. Some people just tuning in and getting the chance to see it. If you watched last week, we laid down the airbrush work on the Magna Dragon. And now he's done. There we go. So there he is. We did a lot of back and forth on this guy. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a studio tutorial. He will eventually. I will have one because I'm going to do 2 more of these. But it was a lot of back and forth airbrush and a lot of gloss wash technique. We went for this, like, he's on fire, on it, like he's like inner flame, you know, like super hot, like, and just kind of like burning, like from the ground up. We spent work on the doing time on the face here, where we did a bunch of highlights there. Most of this on the side is wash and airbrush and just going back and forth. You know, we paintbrushed all the black in, used some like electric blues to highlight it. You know, all this stuff, blue highlights, make it look fun. Painted his runes. You can see his face, purple gloss tongue, black and blue teeth. Like, that's where we did all the detail work. Mighty Cthulhu. Stoner Steve, the one and only. Blood for the blood god, my brother. Thank you. And you can see, that's where so we spent all our time doing the poppy detailing work on the face. We let the techniques do the rest of them. And what we did here on the dais was we magnetized a wizard. Dropped a magnet in here, used some green stuff, made it look like it was rock still. Because that's what we created, made this look like it was a ruin. And he can ride on this. And so can this guy with this big old axe. So we got both these guys on here. So you can just go back and forth between the two. And the whole concept here was that these bases we were working on in early part of the tutorial both have a magnet drilled into them. And one of them is, here we go. This guy's got a magnetized base, so when he is not riding the dragon, he's walking around, hanging out with the other guys. And when the wizard is not riding the dragon, he's hanging out, walking around, pimp walking on the battlefield. So it's just a way to, you know, quickly get both your models engaged. You know, buy a model that costs a lot of money and get multi-purpose out of it. You know, you get a free character, free hero, and a dragon for the same price. You don't have to try to buy 2. You know, conversely, you could have magnetized this. You could have magnetized the dais to be the saddle and the dais, but you don't want them on the saddle. You know, you want one simple thing that's magnetized. So, like, there's all our green stuff, like rough scored stone, magnet. You know, magnet dropped in it. That's simple, guys. Move these guys off frame. And also, let me show you guys the base, since we obviously have a basing tutorial here. What I like to do is I cut up these tufts of grass and I shape them and get them into small and put them in little small areas. Like I cut it up like it's growing up between these little, you know, rocks. Like when you do his feet and you need to cut up some cork so he fits when you pin him in, a little bit of grass popping out between the rocks. That shit's classy. You know? Same deal. Just a fun way, because like the grass usually is too big for all these rocks. So you just, and I'm using like 2 different shades of grass, a little bit of autumn leaves to class them up a little bit. And I have a whole tutorial on how we painted a whole army's worth of these bases. This is obviously very reminiscent of the Tyranids Yellow Autumn theme. That's a Stoner Steve special. We use different companies. Same yellow primer, different. We use Vallejo colors instead of Minotaur on this one. But all in all, super happy with this dragon. Let me talk to you guys real quick in the Q&A. Let's put wizard. Wizard go. Alright, guys. Where we at? Where we at? Player Jification. What up, homie? It's going good now. Mighty Cthulhu, blood for corn, homie. Blood for the blood god. Yep. Cap Atwood. Did my donation go through? Cap Atwood. Let me check on that for you, brother. I hate it when that happens. Answer a quick question before I dig deep. Did you use PayPal or credit card? And if you use PayPal, did you use an e-check? Because I always want to give credit where credit is due.
Seconds in, hit him with an F5. Hit it back so hard he feel it in the next life. Pull him over that shoulder just like a knapsack.
Alfurious, peace out, homie. Gonna miss you, brother. I know it got late, guys. Time Warner fucked us on that. It's already 9 for me, so I know it's getting late for the East Coast guys. I know the Australian guys are fine. Atwood, yes, your donation did go through. It went through on PayPal. It is currently pending. There's another pending donation. So somebody else donated and didn't get recognized for it. I think you're using a check here, an e-check here. Details. Yeah, e-check. So I'm not going to obviously shout anyone's names out who are private in here. If you're the other individual who donated and didn't get honored for it, definitely come forward so I can see what your handle is. So I can honor you, and I will give you guys... I will trigger the gift for you right now. But that's just the unfortunate nature of e-checks. For the software we use, it's very robust. It's very good. We have a lot of moving parts to make these things happen. And the Twitch label, the stream labels, just don't recognize e-checks for some reason. I apologize for that. So, like I said, whoever else is the individual who came through, let me know. And for Atwood, for Captain Atwood, I'm going to trigger not one of our new ones, but one of our newest old ones. Right here for you, brother.
And his name is John C.
All day, brother, and I appreciate it. All right, back to the Q&A. And of course, the donations do make this happen, and I thank you guys. Alfurious, I miss you, man. I already miss you. Killing Time Painting. Not sure if you mentioned it, but the dragon's base, where his feet make contact, are you making it look like scorched earth? No. I mean, if I would, it would be like I would have to do an OSL effect too. Maybe I would eventually, but you know, I've maximized the amount of hours that I'm allowed to spend on this dragon and still get this commission done. That is a cool idea, though. Captain Atwood, just want to make sure I got my motherfucking movie check. We're going to Hollywood. Maze Miniatures, you've been a great source and have seriously helped me step up my game over the years. Diamond Billards and SpikeyCon. Good times. Man, that brings me back too, brother. Brings me back too, man. I miss you, homie. Maze Miniatures. Maze Miniatures. Are you... I know who you are. I'm not going to say your real name unless you say it first. Oh, I'm on Facebook right now telling some people that I love them. If you're one of these people, you know. Oh my God. My friend Brian, he is making the freshest orc conversions. He's making us the war boss. He's making us a pain boy. Man, I wonder if I can send you guys a link to this. I wonder if this is possible. You guys got to see this. 50-50 this link's gonna work, guys. I don't know. Let me know. This is the war boss with the lucky stick that he converted off of a knob biker. And look, here he is with the lucky stick now. Check this out. So like it's movable. I mean, this guy is a surgeon with plasticard and resin. Like, it's so beast. Oh. Anyway, guys, what do you guys think I should do next? I probably only have about 15 minutes before that pizza gets here. Let me know. I'll take a suggestion from the viewership, aka my friends all around the world. Showed you guys a little bit of that bicep love on that dwarf. Showed you guys some of that basing technique, basing 101. Showed off that dragon. Oh, somebody asked a question about the dragon. What's the question? Was it edge highlighting question? His face did receive a lot of extra brush highlights. All this on the face right here, all that's all super intensified edge highlighting, and maybe one or two highlights throughout the body, but for the most part, this is airbrush and wash, man. You guys want to see something else cool that's just sitting on my desk for some reason? Couldn't fit him in my box. I love this guy. I don't think I ever put him in a gallery. Slanesh Soul Grinder. It's got some blood for the blood god effects on the claw. Got some sweet purple edge highlighting on the black. Got some sick airbrush fades in there, and then came back in and highlighted him back up. He's got some blood for the blood god effects on his sword, on his spine. A lot of typhus corrosion. This guy has been a staple of my Chaos Armor for a long time. Slanesh Soul Grinders are so good for their points. If all Dreadnoughts were like as good as this for their points, like it's 150 points for 4 whole points, 5 up and vulnerable, armor 13, and can move 6 inches, fleets, and add 3 inches to his run roll. Like, if Dreadnoughts were this good, like, I'd be all about Dreadnoughts, you know, but they're not. And he still dies all the time. One grab gun shot, he can't move anymore. Alright, guys, what do you think I should do? None. Wolfsark. Bare bones, 150 point soul grinder. You're never gonna shoot. You're always gonna hit that run roll. You know what I mean? You're always like 6 inches, D6 with a reroll plus 3. That's what you do with those guys. Pizza for the pizza gods. Appreciate it, my man. Rocks in 1, amazing 2 models. You really know how to make a girl feel special. Anybody just tuning in, you know what? Maybe I'll just do a little showcase before I end the show tonight. Get my pizza on. Anybody who doesn't know, we're supposed to be working on the orcs on live stream. But Optimus Stein came in hot and said, we got to finish these Sigmar Marines before you go on vacation. So, here are the 3 finished Death Copters for the Orc Army. Some new people may have not seen these. We painted these on stream. These are one of our sponsors. Puppets War provided these. These are called The Plane. Orc Death Copters. We've got a Death Copter Death Star in our Orc army. My next personal army that I'm painting is an Orc army. This guy right here is all scarred up. He's fresh. We worked on him for a while. This guy right here has been officially named by the audience Old Rusty Bastard. What an amazing stream when we painted this guy. He's done. I don't know if I showed you guys that he was done. But he's rusty. This guy's called the Green Baron, the model from Puppets War. And here's the first one we did. Right here. Nameless. But still looking fresh. Different. Yeah, they all have different patterns. And here is Wazdaka Drybrush. This guy is fresh. We painted him on stream too. He is the glue that makes the Orc army work right now. Unlocking units of Orc bikers as troop choices. This guy's a beast. And also, let me show off one of my other sponsors, Kromlech. Now we haven't painted anymore since that one stream, but this is we have 5 of those Puppets War Death Copters. We got 5 of the Kromlech ones right here. And this right here is all pre-shade, all new GW gloss effects to get on those medals. And on the control panels, we used all the new gemstone effects to give it those cool little glows, little gem effects. And underneath it, we rusted it all up. And this guy is super fun because he is literally dropping bombs by hand. Look at this guy. Love these guys. So I have 5 solo Death Copters that outflank and take objectives in my Orc army, and this is one of them. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, guys. These guys are also the glue that makes my stream work, as well as you guys. We got the sick discounts. We got the sick products. Oh, you guys want to see something fresh? Secret Weapon Miniatures came through, and check out these bases that Justin over there sent me. I will definitely give you a heads up, brother. Hold on one second. I'm getting blown up on it. Zab, you're so funny. Check this out, guys. Here are beats fresh off the press. These are scrapyard bases from Secret Weapon Miniatures. Justin over there, the owner, sent me, and lead designer, sent me enough of these biker ovals to do all 23 bikes in my army, including the 2 war bosses, one with a lucky stick and power claw, one with just a power claw, and our pain boy on bike, and the remaining 6 squads of 3 MSU bikers. So we have the new fresh biker base. Let me compare that. Let me show. Now GW, theirs is a little different. Let me see if I can't track down a biker base. I know I have literally hundreds of them from Secret Weapon Miniatures alone. Yep. So here is an example of the original Cavalry biker base. Right here. Now GW's new base, I think it's like 60 millimeters by 90 millimeters, or it's way bigger than this. In the new Realm of Battles box, this is a better option though. As you can see, it's exactly the same length as the biker base, and it is the width approximately of a 40 millimeter base. So it's basically these two kind of concepts combined into a sick new oval. We got everything coming in fresh on these. All of them will be, big bikes on them, or doing wheelies and shit. It's going to be so fresh. And obviously, that's Secret Weapon Miniatures. If you guys don't know who they are, you got to check them out. Got the freshest bases in the industry. He also sent me something else. Super clutch. I don't know if I could. It might be too big to show you. Let me see. This is going to be the pinnacle of the Orc army right here. This is something that Secret Weapon did. This is their injection molded plastic series, tablescapes. and they make one they make some that match their baselines. This is the scrapyard tablescape. It's literally designed to match those bases he sent me, and it's got 4 tiles that clamp together to make a table, or I can just like have 2 of them. Anything. They did a big successful Kickstarter. They got these borders that hold it together, and of course the box comes with some resin terrain add-on pieces. Look at this. Like literally sick custom display board in a box, courtesy of Secret Miniatures. We're going to paint this up. We're going to put the orcs on it, on their scrapyard bases. We got a big custom Stompa coming in soon too, and all of them are going to match. Can't wait. We're going to even put some of those add-on terrain pieces on the Stompa's base so it all matches. You know what? I don't know what the price is because he sponsored me and he sent it to me for free. So I don't know off the top of my head. I imagine it's not cheap, but I imagine you can get it with a 10% discount code if you're on the Hall of Veterans, member of the Long War. Stoner Steve with your cookie sheets. $80. Damn, that's a good deal. You get 10% off if you're in the Hall of Veterans, and you get the Hall of Veterans discount code. So definitely don't hesitate to sign up for that. Also, don't hesitate to sign up for my Patreon page if you want to support me in a more regular way. That and you want to get some exclusive content in my videos. Definitely check out Patreon. I'm gonna hang out here in the Q&A for a few more minutes. One second, guys. Give me some ideas on what to do, guys.
And his name is John C.
All right. People are blowing me up on Face BZ. All right. As usual, guys. I need to shout somebody out real quick. Still, one more name. Justice is dead. Or so Jay thinks. Yes, my man. That is the most righteous quote from the movie as the choir's coming in. Oh my god, dude. I used to know every line in that movie, bro. Still, one more name. You're a beast. No matter how much you donate to me, it's not going to soften the beatdown that you're going to receive at the hands of my Dark Angels and Sisters of Battle alliance that I'm going to bring to our game in July. I had to remember what I was playing for a second because I'm using your stuff. It's going to be awesome. We're going to film it. It's going to be a West Coast Guerrilla Battle Report. Where you guys at? I temporarily navigated away from the chat, so obviously the chat has to load back up. So I think I missed that. I missed some chat questions there. Wolfsark, what's your opinion of the Nova tournament on the East Coast? I've been a few times. I mean, if you live close by, it's definitely worth going. It's a big event, you know. It's well run, you know. I'm never gonna go back. I'm never gonna travel. I wouldn't travel. I wouldn't buy a plane ticket to go to it. That's my personal opinion on it. But if you lived within a day drive, I would definitely suggest going to it. Let me do a... Sorry, guys. I mean, I'm just a little distracted right now. I planned on streaming at 6 p.m. my time. Tom Warner ruined me, and now my dinner is going to be ready in a second. I got to spend some time with my lady. You guys know who that is. Am I going to use... Darth Rob says, are you going to use those gloss washes in the orcs? Probably not. Probably going to do mainly an airbrush technique. Maze miniatures after the orcs for your personal upcoming army. I can do some after the orcs for your personal army. Any upcoming Papa Nurgle. You know, I'm good. Yes, actually, I've got a commission from an Australian baller. He'll remain nameless at this moment, but it's going to be a sick Rot Swarm army. It's not personal, but it's going to be definitely some videos are going to be made. Nakas, yeah, we know about the community comp rules in Australia. Shalinor, thanks for checking in. Anyway, guys, I'm going to start winding this thing down. Say our goodbyes. Don't forget, we got some streamers in the house. Check out Chaotic Couples Gaming when they're streaming. They're a hilarious group of individuals. They're fellow warm gaming nerds. Sometimes they paint, sometimes they play. They play a lot of video games mainly, though. Definitely check out Vagrant Wolf. He's a beast. Keep the community love flowing. Mighty Cthulhu, aka Stoner Steve, I love you. Blood for the Blood God. All of you guys who watch, you guys help. Share the videos, you know, share the tweets. All of it matters. Let me shout out still one more name. Justice is dead, or so Jay thinks. Alfurious, be good to each other. Mighty Cthulhu, Kill Man Burn. Vagrant Wolf, Ancient Chinese Gangster Gumbo is the best gumbo. Alfurious with a Howdukin. Orgasmic. Says he's been watching the videos for a long time, and he gave us our biggest donation, single donation to date. For everyone out there who doesn't have the extra money to donate to keep the video love rolling, I appreciate it, Orgasmic. Yori Kasunda, Kasudan, just thanks for everything in the community. We got Nakas, of course. You can't do one stream without Nakas donating. Sev968, whoa, just saw you on YouTube. YouTube is our home. YouTube is our exposure page. This is where the live videos are coming, though. Definitely going to get a different interaction here. When I come back from vacation, I'm going to do one more stream on Saturday, guys. I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to promise. I lied. There's no fucking way I'm streaming on Saturday. So this is the last stream until I come back from Colorado, guys. So I'm not going to stream again until Tuesday the 12th. I'm sorry about that. That's also why the streams have been all dwarf focused. What I'm working on, it's just because I gotta get it rolling. Gotta go see the family, come back. But when we get back into the Beats Lab, we're gonna be showing you all the ancient Chinese tricks. We're gonna be hitting maybe some Stormcast Eternal techniques, maybe back to some Infinity techniques, back to the orcs for sure. We're gonna show you guys all the ancient Chinese techniques. Wolfsark, I don't use pigment powders, no. Sev969 Sev. I have a video on painting jade green for sure. Go on YouTube, look for a video that has something to do with painting bases and there's like some green on it. You'll be fine. Post it on Facebook, Sev. Jump on, find me on my personal Facebook page, find me on Next Level Painting, Kenny Boucher or Next Level Painting, and post it there, please. Nightbot's not going to let you post it right now. Oh, okay, one last time for Heath. Heath, everyone stop what you're doing. Heath is here. Heath, before I shut the stream down, we're about to shut it down. I'm going to show you the Magna Dragon. It's the last time, okay, guys? It's the last time the Magna Dragon's going back on live stream. Heath. 1 second, guys. I'm being asked something. Pizza. It's been decided. God. They have spoken. Pizza's about to get made. All right, all right, Keith, this is for you, bro. Everyone blame Heath for seeing the dragon for the 5th time. So we finished them, Heath. A lot of gloss technique, a gloss wash technique. We did some hyper highlighting on the face. Came in fresh with the runes. Gave him that super hot or too hot to touch look. Glossed his tongue and his teeth are looking fresh. He just came out baller. We painted all that. You know, this is kind of a technique based on the time analysis. I'm going to paint at least 2 more of these guys and do full studio tutorials. Here, and Heath, here's the linchpin. We got the characters are magnetized to the dais, so they can also be magnetized to their bases. So, wizard on a base, warrior on a base, warrior on a dais. There it is, brother. Obviously, Heath, that one was for you. Everyone blame Heath. But I love you, Heath. Oh my God, Seth. You said you just saw me on YouTube. If you're not watching the YouTube videos, we have a whole video, a whole stream about non-metal metallics, bro. Come on, man. Watch every YouTube video I've ever done, and then ask me if I've done it. Alright, guys. That's it. We're cashing out. We're going to use the screen you guys all hate. And of course, well, here we are. All right, guys. Got to do 1 minute of my face. Thanks for watching, all the donators. I love you guys. Bottom of my heart, very touching. You guys make this. You make this happen. We don't do it for money. It does take money to live and exist and to be an artist. You help me keep the lights on. You help me keep the supplies stocked. You guys are making this a reality for me. It is my dream to take these videos to a request-only model of the week format, and this is gonna happen sooner. This might happen within the year. We're getting close. Anyway, I want to thank you guys. Thanks for watching. As always, play on, players.